So the way this is gonna be done, usually what I do in these things, really just normal raw conversation. Just honestly, just of how you started it from the beginning. I'm doing a whole introduction. Actually wrote some things down as far as the questions go. So I'll read them to you just to have an idea. So the intro, guest appearance. How do you pronounce your last name?
Oviechkina, like the hockey player.
Okay. The origin, your childhood and upbringing, talk about your fitness. Do you want to be known more for, because it's kind of like topics, so want to be known more, or do you want to talk more about your whole fitness, or what you do with the whole meditation, the SMR, the whole SMR?
I thought it was about flexibility.
Do that too. A whole range of conversation. Okay, let's try this out. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Alex Reyes with Hustle Town Inc. I'm here with a fellow hustler, Daria. Daria, I met through some networking, and she does an all-around range of things. Daria, would you like to introduce yourself to the people?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Daria Oviechkina. I'm originally from Grozny, Belarus, which is Eastern Europe. Yeah, I'm 27 years old. Kicking ass and taking names.
Hey, okay. Kicking ass and taking names, y'all. Hey, all right. Daria, can you tell the people a little bit about what you do as far as your hustling goes? What's your all-around passion that you do?
So like, what do you mean?
As far as how you got started in the whole flexibility thing.
Oh, so I grew up doing gymnastics because basically in Belarus it's like a prerequisite right after you're born. Like everybody always has to be in gymnastics. Your parents immediately teach you. So, I grew up with my mom always like making sure that I was always very flexible. But during the past few years, I kind of wanted to just take it up a notch a little bit and to really start. Really experimenting with pushing my body to limits and then pushing those limits and then pushing those limits, because I don't know, I see some contortionists and I'm just like, I just want to be just like them, where they literally are just like a rubber band, and so that's kind of where I'm headed right now, you know what I mean? Because I don't know, I just love how bendy the body can be, you know what I mean? Your body can do incredible things, seriously incredible things, and so why not push yourself to the limits and then past those limits,
Right.
Get yourself as flexible as you can, or as strong as you can, or as much as you want to, you know what I mean? So I personally do want, that extreme flexibility, you know what I mean? When people look at it and they're like, Jesus Christ, that looks so painful. Which what I have now, people already do that, but just even more, those circus performers. That's
right.
That's what I really want to get to.
Man, those acrobatics type guys.
Oh,
okay,
absolutely,
okay.
Those things are incredible.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your origin. Tell us, so you're originally from Belarus.
Yes.
Okay, that's in Eastern Europe.
Yep.
Talk to me about that. How was it growing up there?
So, it was, it was pretty, I was 6.5 when we left, so, it wasn't really too much of growing up there, but, we went back every few years, the last time I went back was back in 2018, and so, it was pretty fun, the culture there is very, very different, obviously, so it's definitely a culture shock going from there to here, or from here to there, But growing up there was a lot of country life. It was very, I was a kid too, so there was not really any pressure or anything.
Right, just carefree, just letting it out.
Right, exactly. So it was nice. Of course, what who can really complain? It was amazing. I absolutely loved it.
You said the countryside, right?
It was basically. Where me and my family lived, it was in the city. We had a really big apartment, but Like I grew up, you know, there and with my grandma. So I mean, like whenever I wasn't with my parents, I was with my grandma, and she had her whole like ranch farm kind of deal, and so I was there a lot.
How was the country life like? As far as like, did
Oh,
you have to milk the cows, the chickens, the whole thing?
Honestly, everything. She was more of a farmer than a rancher. She was more mainly a farmer. She had like a huge, like acre garden thing, you know. And she had some chickens, and she had like I'm pretty sure she had a couple of cows. She had some turkeys and stuff. But it was really nice, you know. Even when I went back, it was absolutely incredible. You know, you can't really, you know. I don't think there's anything better than farming country life. You know what I mean?
Okay. So when you came from Belarus to the United States, where did you first land?
So we actually lived in Brooklyn, New York. We went to Brooklyn, New York. That's kind of like that.
Hey man, shout out to my NY people out there watching this.
That's kind of like the hot spot of wherever people kind of go if they immigrate from like, you know, Eastern Europe. They typically go like there or Florida for the most part. You know, obviously there's like other places, but for the most part they either go to New York or they go to Florida when they first come here. And then they start to venture out to different places.
How long were you in New York for?
We were only there for a year. We didn't really like the climate. Like we always got sick. Just the humidity there, just everything about it. The extreme cold, the extreme heat. It was terrible. It was not fun. I didn't like it. It wasn't really my cup of tea. But I mean, different folks, different strokes. So everybody has their own thing that they enjoy. It was not something I liked, or my family for that matter. We didn't like it whatsoever. But after that, we moved to Colorado. We lived in Colorado I lived in Colorado for about 17 and a half years. And then I moved to Houston actually it's going to be 2 years, January 29th.
Man, she only been in H-Town for 2 years, y'all. She's fresh new over here.
Yeah.
All down south. Hey, okay, so you spend most of your teenage years in Colorado. How was that like? How was that upbringing for you?
Honestly, I couldn't.
And also just being from a different country, you know, did those roots come to you and continue going through your teenage years?
Absolutely, 100%. You know, like I don't know, Slavic roots are so strong. You have to absolutely hate your culture to lose your roots. Like, and I don't know any Russian, I don't know any Belarusian, I don't know any Ukrainian, I don't know anyone from any Slavic country that hates their roots. I don't, because we don't. We love our culture. We do. We have an amazing culture. And you know, honestly, who can complain that they can speak Russian? It's literally the hardest language in the world. You got an up on everybody.
Really?
You know, like, yeah, there's like 46 Cyrillic characters. You know, the only one that's a competitor is I think Mandarin or Chinese. Those are the only two languages that like even come close to being as hard as Russian. Straight up. So I mean, like, yeah, it's a blessing to be from that part of the world. You know what I mean? And in every which way, you know, from how you're raised, especially you're raised in a very traditional manner, but to the point where like the women are also taught to take care of themselves, the men are taught to take care of themselves and their family, but the women, they're also taught to take care of themselves and their family. You know what I mean? So it's just a whole different way that people grow up there. So it's absolutely incredible. You know, it's so like I wish we could bring some of that culture here. You know, because I feel like people would be a lot stronger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, like in many different aspects. But I mean, different folks, different strokes. Again, every culture has their own thing, and every culture is, you know, incredible in their own way. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I am very grateful that I have my culture. You know, so yeah, in Colorado, definitely, we always maintained it, and honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better place to grow up than in Colorado. It was so down to earth, at least when we moved there. It's still one of the most beautiful places ever. You know, gorgeous mountains. I'm a huge hiker. You know, one of the downsides to living here is that I can't go hiking anywhere. So honestly, when I'm at the gym, I crank up the treadmill to like the 14-15% incline, and then I get a little bit of a hike in that way. You know, at least a hike simulation.
Right. Just to replicate that. Oh man, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge hiker, avid hiker. I always like, you know, it's like the hikes that you can do there from the different trails. You have to be, with some of them that I've done, you have to be a legit mountain goat. Like there's some scaling that you really have to do, some jumping, some climbing, a lot of jumping and climbing. Actually, like you're probably gonna get wet. More than you're 100% gonna get dirty. Like it's incredible. It's
I mean, you have to be athlete. You have to be athlete.
You have exactly. You have to be an athlete. You know what I mean? I grew up with it. You know what I mean? So I mean, whenever I go hiking anywhere, it's second nature. You know, because that's what I did growing up. You know, but living here, unfortunately, I don't get to see my beautiful mountains. You know, I get the beach, which is great, but it's not as good as the mountains.
Okay, and like, how can you compare it, the lifestyle here to Houston now, as far as like, you know, the whole culture from what you've seen, you know, and how can you compare it to? Because this is something I always ask the people who come onto this, is just how Houston has impacted them.
Okay, so honestly, it was definitely very different coming here, for sure. I love H-Town, you know what I mean? I love the cultural diversity here. I love how nice people are here. I absolutely love it.
It's a Southern hospitality.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, honestly, like, Colorado used to be that way up until, like, I'd say maybe like 2011, 2012, and it kind of started going downhill a little bit. But Colorado used to be that way, but you know, here it's just everybody's so welcoming, everybody's so kind. You know, here it's, you know, it's, I love it. It's absolutely incredible. I love how, you know, generous people here, how kind they are, how, you know, everybody here is so hardworking. You know what I mean? They're like, you know, I would honestly, like, out of the places that I've ever been to, Houston is definitely like the number one place where people truly like are grinding to the bone. Like, here nobody stops. Here nobody stops, you know. In like other places I've been to, people have a whole different kind of vibe about them, you know what I mean? They're not like workhorses there, but here Houston is a workhorse town. If you're a workhorse, this is gonna be a great place for you to live, because like that's the vibration of Houston. It just wants you to continue moving, continue expanding, continue hustling.
Doing the whole thing, doing the aspect. You know, we have a saying here. It's like, if you don't work, you don't eat. You don't grind, you don't shine.
Yeah.
And you know that comes to a whole different thing with just working in general. That really is gonna get you where you want to be.
Well, here at least, yeah. I mean, like I said, like every place that I've ever been to, it has its own vibration, and because of those vibrations, it has their own way of making money or hustling. You know what I mean? So here in Houston, like here you have to keep moving physically.
Mm-hmm.
Houston loves physical work. It needs like you to continue moving. You know what I mean?
Would you say that's kind of how? Well, that's not how it is back home in Europe, because I heard it's more, you know, more laid back.
It is.
Because I get what you're saying. Like,
it is. Well, even like in Colorado, you know, the vibe is way different there. There, it's not like, you know, there it's not a workhorse environment. There it's more of like an intellect environment. You know, it's more of like you know, it's more of like, there it's work smarter. Here, it doesn't matter how smart you work. You gotta work hard and smart. But here it's mainly
yeah,
just
do
like,
both, y'all. You have to do both.
Yeah, but I mean, in other places, like, you're gonna go far with just working smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, Houston, it just has its own, you know, constantly moving vibration, constantly, you know, physically moving. You know, and it gets tiring. Literally, it really does get tiring.
It does. Like, I heard, like, places in Europe, you can just be sitting somewhere, drinking a coffee, and smelling the air. And I think that's mostly what people don't do because of this whole constant grind.
Yeah.
They don't get to appreciate really, like, hey, man, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Exactly.
Chill. Hold up, bro. Just chill. Hold up. Yeah. Sit back and just take a deep breath sometimes.
But here, the thing is that, like, you can't here because it's such a fast-paced environment. Like, seriously, you can't hear. Like, that's why I have to leave. I specifically have to get out of town at least every 4 weeks, because like I mentally and physically cannot handle constantly being on the go 24/7. It's unreal. Like, it's unreal.
It's a stress.
Like, you can't, your body's not gonna last forever, I promise. Like, if you can do that, it's not gonna last, I promise. You're gonna break down. You are.
Take it from
like,
the professional.
Like, yeah, and I have done that before. That's the thing. Like, it sucks. And your body's not gonna handle it very well.
Talk about how you got into the whole aspect of learning about the body.
I mean, I've been doing that for a long time, but I mean, I kind of dove very, very deep into it I would say just in May. But I mean, I've always done a lot about it. But I mean, like physically and like working out and all that stuff, I only started to do just last May. And so I just got so intrigued. I actually started working out because like there's this guy that really like pissed me off, and I was so angry. So angry.
Yeah, let out some steam.
I had to let off some steam. Yeah, I was so angry, and I really had to let off some steam. And like he actually like went to the gym all that time, and I was like, you know what? I want to get back into going to the gym. So for probably like 2 weeks, I went every single day. I was like working out nonstop for like an hour to an hour and a half every single day, and I was so angry. And I remember just after about a week, I started to feel so much relief, because all this energy was going into working out. So it started off with me just being so angry and just wanted to let off steam. So I would run 5 minutes straight at like an 8 to 10 mile pace, because I just was so angry and I had so much energy, and I was like, I swear, if you wanna work out and have like the best workout ever, get somebody to piss you off.
Hell
like,
yeah.
get somebody
sure.
to make you mad.
That energy has to go somewhere,
That energy, like, you're gonna probably have the best workout ever. Like, straight up. You're gonna hit all of your PRs. Every single one you could possibly imagine. Everything you do that day, you're gonna hit a PR. 100%.
And so, as far as the working out and what you do, so to you, as someone who's been, in the whole sphere of that, what can you say to you? What does that mean? Like, the difference between working out and actually training? Because you said you do.
So I think the difference is like working out is maintaining. Training is you have a goal. When you're training, you have a specific goal in mind. You have a PR you're trying to hit. When you're just working out, you're just maintaining. That's it.
Yeah.
You're just maintaining your body. That's the difference between working out and training. And I feel like you should. I mean, to each their own. I just personally always like to be training, because I feel like there's always. Like, I feel like you're gonna go so much further if you set a goal for yourself.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? If you just, even like a small goal, you know what I mean? Even like going up like 5 pounds on tricep extensions. You know what I mean? Even setting a tiny, tiny goal like that,
Yep.
you're already gonna go so much further, because like you need that drive. You need a place to go. You know what I mean? And it needs to be more of, and obviously enjoy your workout. You know what I mean? Always enjoy your workout. Get that pre-workout going, you know what I mean? Get your awesome music going, and just enjoy it.
Right on.
Always enjoy it. You have to enjoy a workout. If you don't enjoy working out, do something you do enjoy doing, like go play a sport, go beat somebody up. No, I'm just kidding.
Cause no, you're not.
Huh?
I said, cause y'all know you're not.
Yeah, no, I would never do that.
Yo, okay. And as far as the balance goes between your training, you have some other passion that you're interested in, right? And it will be the ASMR.
Yes.
Okay. ASMR. Talk about that. What is that?
So ASMR is
For the people who don't know, just to refresh them.
So ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And so basically what that is whenever you hear certain sounds, especially in clarity, or when you hear like certain noises or whispers, or when you see visuals, like specific visuals, it actually sends tingles down your spine and gives you a sort of euphoria and relaxes you. So I do, ASMR, triggers with audio and visuals, but primarily I personally like to focus on visuals, because I'm huge into aesthetics. I love looking at beautiful things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I love watching movies specific because I love how it looks. I love looking at beauty. So for me, whenever I watch ASMR, I do it for and from a visual perspective. Don't get me wrong, I still do a lot of audio stuff too, but my primary focus is visuals, because not a lot of people seem to dive into that specific part of ASMR, because everybody thinks, oh, ASMR, I'm just listening to people whispering or like people like clicking on stuff. No. that is a part of ASMR for sure. You know, and in my videos I also do, you know, a lot of auditory and, you know, things as well. But I personally love the visuals because when you're looking at something, I personally feel like you get more euphoria from seeing something. You know what I mean? Because if you ask anybody, literally anybody, at least 9 out of 10 people, what would you, if you had to lose one, or if you got to keep one, if you only got to keep one, would you keep your eyesight or your hearing? 9 out of 10 people are gonna say eyesight.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why, you know, like, because we want to see something more than we want to hear it. You know what I mean? So personally for me, I like to do visuals more, you know, and so I do a lot of like hand type visuals. I do some different like graphic visuals, like graphic design and stuff. I'm getting like a lot more into that, and so, you know, it's just making the experience a lot more enjoyable for people with what they see.
And something good to capture the eye.
Exactly. So like for me, you know, like I just love the visuals. Basically, I love to look at beautiful things. I like to see beautiful things. I like to see different, you know, motion pictures, different graphics, and just seeing how I can make the video more pleasurable visually for somebody. And don't get me wrong, I still do, you know, the audio stuff because it's very necessary. But to me, it's more calming and relaxing to, you know, see something calming and relaxing than it is to hear something calming and relaxing.
Okay, gotcha. And where does ASMR stem from? You know, where did that whole practice come from?
I have
its
no
origins.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. I'm gonna be very upfront because I started ASMR because I actually got into energy healing, and so I wanted to kind of incorporate my energy healing practices to help other people with a topic that other people watched as well. So, you know, you have energy healing plus ASMR, so you have a really good combination of actually helping people heal, because I actually do, you know, do a lot of my energy practices in my videos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that really helps incorporate it with the ASMR because it just flows very well together. You know, you have a healing aspect of it and you have a relaxation aspect of it. And honestly, like, sleep is so important to us. Relaxation is so important to us. And I feel like one of the main reasons I do it is because we just don't get enough of it. And I feel like with these videos, it actually helps people just get away from life, just everything, just get away from life for like 30 minutes. And get grounded, you know, like that's why I love doing these videos, is because it really helps people just get grounded, relax. And when you're in a state of relaxation, when you're in a state of peace, and when you're calm, you can accomplish so much more. You know, you can do so much more. You can be so much more productive, so much more successful. You have so much more energy. You know, how much, and like literally anybody can tell me right now that after you get a great night's sleep, I can guarantee you can be a workhorse for like at least 12 hours that day.
Man, you feel like conquering the world.
Exactly! That's what a good night's sleep is going to do to you. That's what a good rest is going to do to you. You know? And when you're well rested, you can literally do anything. So I see it as a gateway to helping people achieve what they want.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this for?
So I've been doing this on and off for like 5 years actually. So I had out, yeah, it's a long story that I'm not really going to get into of why it was on and off. But there's a long backstory to that.
And what can you say is when you started seeing your viewers correspond with what you were putting out, as far as like when can you say was that time that you were hitting?
What do you mean?
As far as in the whole, you know, spectrum of ASMR, like when can you say you started getting, you know, the whole views, you know?
Oh, right away.
Yeah.
Right away. Yeah. I feel like when it comes to anything you do, when you provide people value and when you love what you do and you're doing it with the right intentions, the universe is gonna give you everything you want. You know what I mean? But if you're doing it, you know, just because you have to, or if you're doing it, you know, in a very negative state of mind, you know, it's just, you're gonna drag yourself back. You You know what I mean? You're just gonna drag yourself along. So if you literally, this goes to anything in life. For anything in life, if you love what you do, if you set the right intention, if you have the right intentions, if you bring value from it, those two things are the most important for success. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the most important things. Bring value. How is this gonna bring somebody value? Anyway, literally, it could be one person. You're gonna help one person. You're already bringing the world value.
Right.
What's your intention? Are you doing it for the right reasons? Why are you doing this? Are you doing it just for the money? That's not gonna last very long. I've done things literally just for the money, and it slowly kills you inside, and then you hate it. You absolutely hate it, and you don't want to do it anymore. Don't ever do something for money, just for money. Don't
That's
ever.
right, yeah.
You're gonna hate your life, I promise. Like you're gonna love it for a certain period of time, 100%. 100%. You're gonna love it because you're gonna be like, oh, I love these buku bucks coming in, and you're gonna enjoy the heck out of it. But then, you know, some time is gonna pass, and you're gonna absolutely despise your life. You know, because what you have to do to earn that money, you actually don't like. You're just doing it to make this money, and it's gonna slowly start sucking the life out of you.
Yep, and it's like you're putting on a facade for it.
Yeah, you are, you know, and you know, so sometimes I understand, sometimes you do have to do what you gotta do, 100%, and if you do have to do what you gotta do, at that point, fake it till you make it. That's like my best advice. If you have to do something that you really don't wanna do, I would 100% advise to find a different alternative to something you do enjoy doing. But if you do have to fake it for a while, you know, if you do have to do something you don't wanna do for a while, just try to find the best, you know, try to find a silver lining to it.
Make it temporary. Don't
Yeah.
make it permanent. Don't make it your permanent spot in life.
Yeah, make it temporary, exactly. Just know that it's temporary and
Yep.
you're moving forward.
That's what you gotta tell yourself every day. This is only temporary.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last forever.
Absolutely, and that's a great mindset to have. And then lastly, bring value. Are you bringing, like, is this actually gonna bring somebody value?
Right.
Are you doing this for, like, the expansion of something? Even if it's, like, for yourself, you know what I mean? If, like, are you expanding yourself so you can help other people? Are you expanding your knowledge so you can help other people? You know, who is this bringing value? Are you bringing value to somebody? You know, and so, like, you know, having all those things correlate with one each other and actually, you know, work, and making sure that those three things are actually present, then you're gonna do great. You know what I mean? And after that, all you gotta do is put on some blood, sweat, and tears. You know, and also know that, like, and also keep in mind the bigger picture.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
Oh, and so another piece of advice. I actually just got this little piece of advice that I completely forgot about. Well, I never forget about it now, but I'm ranting. So back in December, a really good friend of mine actually told me. So I started to really dislike what I was doing, you know, with YouTube. I loved it for a long time, but then I started to really dislike it because I started to see money coming in, and then I got so focused on the money, you know what I mean? And then I completely lost passion for what I was doing, completely. It was so sad, like it really sucked.
Do you think that always tends to happen when?
It can happen if you shift your focus. It can. If remember your intention. You know, why are you doing this? You know, for me, I had a completely different intention, and then I started to focus on the money, and I only started to do it for the money, and then I didn't like doing it anymore. It sucked. Like I didn't want to do it anymore because I didn't want to just do it for the money, and I didn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? But then a really good friend of mine told me to remember your roots. Remember why you started. Remember where you started. Why did you start doing this? You know? And so whenever the money starts getting to your head, remember your roots. Remember where you came from. Remember where you started. Remember why you started.
Remember all that struggle you went through to get to where you are now.
Yeah, remember why you started. Remember what the purpose was of why you started this. Why did you start doing what you're doing? Why? Remember your why. You know, remember your roots. That's basically it. And once you start remembering your roots, all that joy of why you started is gonna come right back, and then you're gonna keep doing what you love. You know, and the money's gonna keep coming, you know, but don't keep the money as the main priority. You know, that's like probably one of the biggest things I've learned in the last few years is money's great, don't get me wrong, like obviously it's necessary.
For sure.
I am not bashing money. I love money. I really do. Like,
get money, stay true, y'all.
Exactly.
Get money and stay true.
Yeah, absolutely. Money's great, but
money is a tool.
Money's a tool
to make our life easier.
Yeah, money's a tool, but it shouldn't be the sole purpose of our lives.
Right. Because if you really think about it, there's only certain things you can buy with money until you eventually get bored of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
You're like, it can buy temporary happiness. It can't buy fulfillment. You can't buy permanent happiness. That's something you can't buy. Love. You can rent love, but you can't buy it.
That's right. It ain't real.
It ain't real.
It
No.
ain't real.
No, you can rent it. Like I said, like Netflix. You rent it. It's just not gonna be there forever. So
Right.
always have that love and happiness stem from the inside. Always. If you think money's gonna fix your problems, it'll fix your financial problems for sure, but it's not gonna fix your internal emotional problems. In fact, what I've learned personally is money actually amplifies your emotions internally. It actually amplifies who you truly are inside. And you'll notice that many people are actually not very nice people once they get money. Like, it sucks because money is like a drug. It amplifies whatever you're already currently feeling on the inside. Kind of like, mushrooms or acid or, any kind of, hallucinogen.
Mm-hmm.
It amplifies how you're already feeling. You know what I mean? So that's why when you take, for example, mushrooms or acid, like in a good state of mind, and you're actually in a good state of mind, you're more than likely going to have a good trip. But if you're taking it in an awful state of mind, thinking it's going to fix it, your trip is going to be so bad. It's going to be like scary and awful, and you're going to it's not going to be fun.
Yeah, it has some happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts, exactly.
Happy thoughts.
Exactly. But yeah, that's what money does. It actually just amplifies who you are on the inside.
And the whole slogan, get money, stay true. Like, again, what you're saying is, I can speak on that very much. Like, that's if if you're a good person and you do good stuff with money, like, you're always going to be doing it. If you're a piece of shit,
Exactly.
You're only gonna still be a piece of shit with money.
Exactly, except it's gonna be a bigger one.
Yeah. So it's just like,
you're gonna be a bigger one.
Yeah. So always, y'all, money is just something to help us out, and that's something that I like to teach here more in general. Is like, we can all get it. Like, honestly, there's no need to be greedy. There's enough for everybody to be there.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be a way like, oh, like I'm better than this person just because I got this. Nah,
Yeah. No, like, you do something with true intentions, with pure intentions. The universe will reward you one way or another.
Very much so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one way or another, everything comes back. Whether it's good, whether it's bad,
Full circle.
It'll come back.
Full circle.
Like, you don't have to worry about that. Karma does its job very, very well. There's no need for revenge, because karma can do so much worse than what you can. I promise. Don't ever get revenge.
You reap what you sow.
Exactly. Like, it'll do so much worse than you could possibly do. And on top of that, you're not going to get any karma back because you stay back. And, you get to just watch and enjoy the show.
That's right.
Make some popcorn.
Hey, okay. And as far as the whole spectrum that you do with the whole relaxation videos and all that, can you say people tap into this spirituality?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So with my particular videos, I do energy healing with them. So we definitely do tap into a lot of spirituality and kind of getting you in touch with your higher self, kind of dissolve the ego. And you'll notice that the more you work on yourself and you work on raising your vibration, you're going to notice that all the wrong things in your life are going to leave, and the right things are going to come and manifest, and so it just, obviously practice makes perfect, you know what I mean? And so, but with spirituality, like, the more in tune you can be with yourself, the more clearer the entire picture of your life becomes, and what you actually want to do and what you don't want to do.
Okay. What advice can you give to the people who are out there who are just angry? You know what I'm saying? Like, just people who actually need this practice in their life, and how would they begin? Like, how would they open up to such teachings? for this?
Well, so I would say the first and foremost thing is to eat that crow in your throat. Okay, by that I mean suck it up and ask for help. Bite that ego, because I know a lot of people have pride issues. We really do, and don't get me wrong. I have my pride moments too, but the more you work on it, the less they happen.
Yeah.
But the first and foremost,
That's the beauty of being human.
yeah. But swallow that pride, and just say like, hey, I'd like some help. First and foremost, you know what I mean? And ask this to somebody if you already know somebody who does this kind of stuff, like that does work with spirituality or that does work with meditation. Just go and ask for them for some help. And if you don't want to do that, then just go online and look up some meditation practices. Or honestly, like people say start with yoga, but I would recommend starting with yoga because you already have to be in a little bit of a different state of mind to actually be patient enough with yoga. So start with meditation. Just sit down, pop squat somewhere quiet, maybe turn on some candles, some incense. If you're not about that, just go sit in a quiet room. Really. Just a quiet room.
Just be alone with your thoughts a little bit.
Yeah, just be alone with your thoughts. Just be alone with your emotions. And I've told so many people to do that. For example, some that are just starting off with meditation or starting off with spirituality, they always tell me, I can't meditate. There's so many thoughts going through my head, and I get all these feelings, and I started crying, and I got angry, and the list goes on and on. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I tell them is, that's good. It's working. You're doing it right. That's what's gonna happen. If you're a person that's never done this before, you're gonna have such an influx of nasty emotions come up, and all these ridiculous thoughts. Like you just are. There's no running away from it. The only way to get through it is to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of it. You gotta go through it.
That's right. And can you say not a whole lot of people get those time with their thoughts just because of just what you're explaining, the whole hustle, the grind in here also in big cities like Houston,
yes.
And over there.
So what I've noticed, unfortunately, is at least some of the people I've met, actually a lot of people I've met, I can't even say some, a lot. I would say 90% of people that I've met in Houston choose to relax by going to the bar or grabbing a beer or, smoking weed or whatever, And that is a temporary fix for sure. But it's not gonna be a elongated solution. You have to just forget about getting yourself calm for the night. You have to look at your future and how you can get yourself calm for the rest of your life. So that's why instead of going to the bar, cracking a beer, smoking that joint, going out with your friends, whatever. Just go sit down for 30 minutes. Just go sit down and sit alone with yourself. Turn everything off. I mean, you don't have to make it pitch black, but
right.
Turn your phone off, turn your computer off, turn off everything that is, a distraction, and just sit there and just listen to yourself.
Yeah, because I think we have a lot of distractions in this time of age. Our phone, our TV, everything that's going on around us. This wasn't happening back in the day. Back in the day, you would have to wait days, weeks to actually get in contact with somebody, especially if you were down in the country, someplace like that, a rural area. So that whole aspect. Yeah, guys, the hustlers out there, find the time just to sit down and relax, do something.
And don't do anything. Just sit down and just let yourself be for 15, 30 minutes. Just let yourself be. Allow yourself to think those thoughts. Allow yourself to feel those emotions. And yes, 100%, for the majority of people, at first it's going to be very overwhelming. But that's okay, because that means it's working. That means you're going through the process. That means,
Those are your thoughts telling you, hey.
Yeah, that means it's something you need to.
I'm here.
Yeah, it's okay. You just need to become aware of them. And that's and that's the start of the journey of getting yourself into a very a much more peaceful environment internally. You know what I mean? Because you're with yourself forever. You
That's
know
right.
what I mean? But you're not with other people forever. So make sure that your head, where you live the most, is a good place to live.
Right.
You know?
That you're telling yourself good things about yourself.
Yeah.
Because those thoughts matter the most. What you speak out is going to come into fruition one way or another.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What it's called.
Yeah, what you focus on, you know, you're putting your attention towards something, whatever you focus on, it's gonna happen. It's just, you know, whatever emotion whatever emotion is rising, wherever you're putting all of your thoughts and your energy, it's gonna come into fruition. You know what I mean? And there's so many different nuances that go about that too. You know, for example, say you want something in particular, and you're thinking about it all the time, but you're coming from this place of lack and neediness, and then you're doing the exact opposite. You're actually making it go further away from you. So you have to be in perfect alignment with everything. You know, you have to focus on where you're going. You have to have a good feeling about it, and just moving forward. You know, and not letting those doubts get to you. You know what I mean? So I don't know, there's so many people out there saying that, well, I've been focusing on this for such a long time and it hasn't come yet. Well, that's why it hasn't come yet, because you keep repeating that it hasn't come yet. Like, you just answered your own question.
That's right.
Like, sorry, dude, like, I don't know what else to tell you. You're answering your own question.
And can you say, as far as trying to get something that you really want, and it just trying not to get close to you, as far as that whole, you know, I guess you can say the whole goal of trying to get that, if you're coming from a bad place, is it because it's knowing that you're not in that right state of mind just yet to receive that?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously you have to be, you know, divine timing, right?
Divine timing.
Like, you're always gonna, like, the universe is never in a rush. The only reason people are in a rush is because they're not patient, you know, and because of this impatience, we get anxiety, we get stress, we get depression, you know. Just be like the universe, you know what I mean? Everything's gonna come in divine timing. Work on yourself, work on whatever else you need to work on, and know that it's coming. It's like, it's already in your life. It just, like, the right timing is so crucial. You know what I mean? We only get the things that we want, or we get what needs to come into our life at the perfect time, at the perfect moment, because that's when we have learned all the lessons that we needed to in order to practice this desire safely. You know what I mean? For example, this is a really good example. You know, this is a great example actually. You have lottery winners. You have ones that literally died, or that just blew everything and just went bankrupt and just done, right? And then you have those really, really intelligent ones that grew their fortune, that did incredible things for the world, that just beautiful, 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 right? And there's your divine timing. You know what I mean? So which one, like, those are great examples, because which one would you want to be? Would you want to be the smart ones that learned all the lessons that they needed to be smart with all that money and fortune, to actually raise their capital and, you know, continue being wealthy? Or would you want to be the other ones that blew everything and possibly died, which many of them have, got killed, which many of them have, lost everything, or whatever? You know, the list goes on and on. Who would you rather be? Would you rather be the smart one that is rising and thriving, or would you rather be the dead one? 6 feet under.
It's gonna be rising, because I enjoy my life.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? And like, you know, some things are really meant for us, 100%, and
Sure.
we will 100% get them. But sometimes we just have to learn specific lessons in order to, you know, work with our desire better and to keep it lasting. You know what I mean? There's things in my life that I honestly wish that I received a little bit later in life, because I would have been able to handle it better. You know what I mean? But I got it too soon, and I didn't know how to handle it, unfortunately. But there's, for example, some things that I got at, like, the perfect timing. Everything was just, like, spot on. Like, you know, everything was so in alignment. You know, you have, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, everything was perfect line to line. you know. And so I don't know. One big thing that people need to learn is awareness, self-awareness,
Mhm.
like becoming aware of yourself and who you are as a person, what you do as a person. You know what I mean? The circulating thoughts that you have as a person. You know what I mean? Just like being aware of why something's happened to you, or why do you react the way you react? Why do you say the things that you say? You know, and the more aware you become of yourself, the more you start to see that, you know, there's so many patterns and cycles that we repeat because they're a programmed loop that were there since we were a child. You
Yeah.
know?
We were conditioned.
Yeah, because we were conditioned. And once you start kind of like stepping back and you're like, wait a minute, I don't like this programming. Let me change it. Obviously, you know, it's gonna take some work to change it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they say this like nothing happens overnight. Even like the people that like something happened overnight, it's not overnight. It's like hundreds, possibly thousands of nights before that made that overnight happen.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's all that buildup of energy that made that happen overnight. So it wasn't just overnight. Nothing happens overnight. Everything happens with a ton of nights that gave you that one night.
And the thing about human beings, y'all, is that we have the power to change our lives.
100%.
Every single time.
Absolutely.
Through our thoughts, our processes, everything.
Everything.
And that's more, honestly, that's very powerful to me because telling we can do anything that we solely put our mind to.
Absolutely. I mean, you're a piece of God in a human body. You can literally do anything you want. You really can. Like anybody can. Literally, like if you look at any kind of like, for example, Dolly Parton is a great example as well. Her biggest slogan that she tells everybody is always follow your dream. Never give up on your dream, ever. Because dreams do come true. They really do. Like all you have to do is just, you know, have that tunnel vision, keep going, have that intention, set your goals, and you know, just know that one way or another you're gonna get there. You don't know how you're gonna get there, but it's gonna happen.
But you're gonna get there.
But you're gonna get there.
You're gonna get there.
You know, all you gotta do is just like, you know, just take action. Like any action that you believe is going to help you get in that direction. Literally anything.
And have that belief in yourself.
Yep.
That's the most important thing. Having that belief, have that self-confidence. Make it to like, I'm gonna do this, and this is what I'm gonna do to get it.
Yep.
Daria, that was a good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Well, I do appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, so that was part of the video.
Huh?
That whole part of the video. I might edit it right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Cool. Look at that.